Hello, welcome back to Mini Modelog and welcome to the General's Handbook review. If you've not been to the channel before, I do reviews on things like this. I also do unboxings for Age of Sigmar, 40k, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, all sorts of different bits from Games Workshop. I'm a big Games Workshop fan, play quite a few of their games, and in this video we're looking at the General's Handbook. So let's get straight into it. I've never bought one of these. This is my first General's Handbook. I've only been playing Age of Sigmar sort of since the malign portents. I'm an ex-Fantasy Battles player and I had a massive 5,000 skaven army. And halfway through malign portents, I thought I'd pick them out the loft, pull them out the loft, check what I'd got, look at how to play them. And I went and bought the Skaven box set, but I also bought this, the Battle Tome, because everyone said, oh, you'll need the Battle Tome, it's got most of the rules in it. And they said, but you'll also need the General's Handbook for points. By this point, I kind of was like, well, I can find the points out elsewhere. There's apps out there which will give me that information. But this time round, with the new release of AOS 2, and I wanted to get something on release day, so I thought, what do I need over what do I want? And the need was the General's Handbook. Now, I've lent this to a friend of mine and I've read it myself. I think it's brilliant. It's very well set out. There's a lot of battle plans in it, so if you're a big fan of doing a narrative with battle plans, it's good for you. There's a lot of additional rules for a lot of factions. So for example, for Skaven, which is who I play, there's all the allegiance abilities for Clan Pestilence, allegiance abilities for Clan Skyri. So for me it's quite helpful because it gives me those allegiance abilities. Now, also of course there's the points list, so there's the points for every clan. There's a few errors in it, and I'm not sure if Games Workshop have cleared them up yet. There's a big kind of hoo-ha over Storm Vermin and the price for Storm Vermin here. In here, Storm Vermin, I believe, are 500 points for 30 models, where that's really expensive and doesn't add up when you consider what 10 models are. So it's kind of still under debate, I believe. I'm not sure if they've cleared it up yet. But I believe also the app says something slightly different. So I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, here we are. Storm Vermin 30 for 500 points, where 10 are 140. So there's errors in it. But as an actual piece of kit to play the game, I think it's great that you can now do pitch battles. All the endless spells are in it. All the factions are in it. And at the back, you've generally got a lot of the command abilities from most factions. But the bigger mission is Stormcast Eternals. Not for the points are in there. But for the actual sort of abilities, they're not there. Now when I lent this to my mate who plays Stormcast, he says, I'm not going to bother buying that. Because he is on the app for Age of Sigmar and pays the 99p a month. So he can get all the points costs, and there's no allegiance abilities in here. They're all in the battle tomes. So I suppose my piece of advice with this, and what I think of this, is if you can get a copy and check it out before you buy it, I would do. Because if you're already using the app for points, it becomes a bit null and void unless you want the battle plans. So it's kind of, I think it's, if you're from the old school like me, and you like the books, you like having the books, because obviously before the days of apps, everything was in a book form, so your codexes or they weren't called battle tomes back in those days, but you know, you had an army book. I've got a couple of the old Skaven ones knocking about somewhere, and essentially you've got those, and they had all your information, your points, everything in it. Obviously with the battle tomes, don't come with the points. I'm not sure if this is a way of Games Workshop to sell more books, but I think this is going to be quite helpful for me. I think it'll allow me to, I don't play tournaments, but I do use the point system to make sure it's a fair game. So I think it'd be really good for me to point up my army, add the allegiance abilities, add the endless spells points, and all that kind of thing without having any other documentation. And it's quite a solid construction book. I mean, it's not hardback, it's paperback, but it's good quality paperback, solid sort of card cover. Pages all look good, the artwork's fantastic in it. And there's a bit of background at the beginning about different bits and pieces, how to do narrative play, open war generator, all these different things. And like I say, the allegiance abilities listed, just so you know what's listed, is Wanderers, which is what was Wood Elves really, Brayherd, Slanesh, Slave to Darkness, Skaven Pestilence, Skaven Skyri, Flesh Eater Corpse, and Iron Jaws, Iron Sun's Bloodtooths. They're kind of the main. Oh, there's Seraphon as well. Darkling Commons, Dispossessed, Free People's Fire Slayers. So these main ones have got allegiance abilities in here. So if you run any of those armies, it's advisable. If you don't run any of those armies, so if you're running the Nighthaunt or if you're running Stormcast, I'd put your money into the actual battle tomes. So that's my opinion on the General's Handbook. I think it's a great book if you've got certain factions. Not so great if you're running certain factions. Hope that gives you enough information. If you want more information or any questions about what's in it, just whack a comment down below and I'll answer them and give you more information. That's it for now. Next week is what have I bought this month, and it's a bit of a quandary, and I've got a question to you guys. I'm not sure what to buy. I need to expand my armies, which means I need to buy doubles of things, but I'm thinking of going down the Blood Bowl route and getting the Nagroth Nightmares next month. So if you want to see them unboxed, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see anything else, let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you haven't been in before and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button. But I'll see you next time.